is a watershed event for the homeless in Fresno. We have changed the law in Fresno. The city has put in new laws that at least respect the rights of the homeless. They have stopped the destructive behavior that went on and on and on. And it's because of the courage of people like these right here who are willing to stand up and say, yeah, I will be a plaintiff in a lawsuit. I will stand up and I will be accountable. So now what we have is we have a class that's been formed. We have a group of people who now not only have changed the law and who have set the city on a new course of behavior, we have a judge that's going to retain jurisdiction over that for 5 years to make sure that it's permanent and it stays. And then we have some monetary compensation for what's been taken from these people. They're going to receive different amounts based upon different levels of loss, but some people are going to be receiving small amounts and some people are going to be receiving pretty good amounts, both in cash and in bank accounts and ways that they can then spend that cash and it'll be safe for them and they can spend it when they want, on what they want to spend it on. And then in terms of what's just as important, a living allowance so that rent will be paid first and last month's rent and a deposit, and they can actually move into a home, an apartment, a place where they can be safe, where they can have an address, where they can have an identification card, where if they have a job, that the employer knows how to reach them and it'll help them. Some people, I know Jana is doing some training to start off on a new career, and this is going to be a start for people. This is going to lead to something really wonderful for these folks. They deserve it. They're wonderful people. We couldn't be prouder both of our legal team and of the federal courts and the system that we have, justice that we have to have achieved all this for these folks.
What implications do you think this settlement will have in the country, in the state, in terms of limiting other cities from doing what Fresno did?
On one of those benches.
Well, at one point when we were having an argument up in the courthouse, and we were arguing about the nature of the injunction decree that we would get, the judge said, well, you know what, if you win, you may get the most effective award of all. You may get a large amount of money on behalf of your clients. And that will send a message bigger than any other that I could possibly send. Now, what effect is that going to have? I think what it says is that if you do go out and violate the rights of the homeless, do something like what happened here. Unfortunately, now the city doesn't do that anymore. That you will, you are vulnerable to having to pay. You will have to pay damages for that. And what's better from my point of view is that we also created new laws and a way to be at least honor the rights of the homeless, and that maybe other communities will have those as a model to look at, to avoid that kind of behavior. So you have both the positive side of it, which is, well, here are some laws, here is behavior. The city has started to put up some facilities for homeless people. It isn't as much as we'd like to see, but it serves a great start. So you have that and a model. And the other thing you have is if you're going to do something like this, there's a message here. And that is you will end up getting an injunction against you and paying damages to people whose property you took. So we think it may send a message, and we sure hope it does.
And how does this settlement compare nationwide with other settlements in lawsuits of this nature?
Lisa can speak to that.
We have talked to a lot of homeless advocates and attorneys across the country. We don't know of any other settlement with this amount of money for a group of homeless people. It's unprecedented. You guys did a great job.
It is really groundbreaking. The ACLU of Northern California has been involved in fighting for the rights of homeless people, of poor people, for years. We've brought some of the seminal cases, and to be honest, we've had difficulties with some of them. We've had some great victories. This is an incredible victory for homeless people throughout this country. It will stand as a warning to cities who want to violate the rights of homeless people, and they think they can get away with it, but they can't. And this is going to show that. And one of the most significant parts of the settlement is one that hasn't been talked about all that much, and that's that the Department of Transportation, Caltrans, which of course owns a huge amount of property in the state, has also agreed to abide by the principles set forth in Judge Blanchard's preliminary injunction. So we have relief not just for homeless people here in Fresno, not just for people in Fresno County, but for homeless people all throughout the state of California who will now be protected from losing their property in Caltrans operations. It's truly a wonderful day.
Elisa, do you want to say anything? Your perspective of this case.
I just think that housing's the answer to homelessness. It's not attacking homeless people. It's not taking their belongings. Cities everywhere should realize that it's possible for people to get into exactly what they need, which is a safe, clean place to live. And the fact that this settlement is making it possible for the people that we've grown to love here in Fresno who don't have places to live is just really good.